Okay. Hey. Yeah, okay, so I've been told it now works. Okay, that's good. I posted this in a lot of places, and then in OBS I hit the recording button instead of the streaming button. I am the best at computers. Thank you, Ezzy. I've been informed of my error. I almost streamed to nobody. That's fantastic. Okay. Time to work on a menu. As I've said already, but I'm going to say it again because nobody heard me the first time because I was talking to the computer, apparently. If you need to reach me in the Twitch chat or ping me, or if you're feeling really awkward and you have the right information, you can always text me. Okay, so what I have here is a menu that I think if I were making like an old like SNES style RPG would be a good one, but I'm not actually sure that it works for our purposes because this game is going to be very like slime themed, and I don't know. I don't know that I really need to have that much. Oh, what's the word? I don't really know that I need to have like this much scroll in 3 different lines of menu. So I might change that up a little. Let's see, margin. Yeah, let's try the position change. Good morning. How are you? Oh, shoot. Yes. Although, like, I guess I really haven't talked. I mean, I guess I maybe talked a little tiny bit, but like, I'm probably gonna do some menu stuff today, and oh, yeah, I need to change how that works. I'm gonna do that. And 32. So this is gonna be 0. Good morning, Zen. I have coffee, and I've been up for not an insignificant amount of time. I've been up for like an hour, but apparently I am still capable of hitting entirely the wrong button to begin a stream. I don't know how to heal. Okay. Nice. I mean, to me, that can be like a good needed Saturday. Like thing to not be up right away. Okay. So do I want to change? No, I probably don't want that customizable. So the problem is, like, this game, if you look at the actual aesthetic, and I'm hoping that I've done this correctly and I don't break something. Oh! Well, that's certainly broken. Let's check the debug and see what's going on there. Ah. That was incredibly broken. Do I have like 2 player things? No? That is. Okay, let's try it from the... Yeah, this is weird. Hey, David, I don't know how to pronounce your name. I'm sorry. I don't actually know how to pronounce your screen name. Okay, we're gonna reload current project. See if that helps. Of course, Godot always likes to reload on the main monitor. Well then, time to fix whatever it is I introduced here. Oh, did I do something silly? These tiles existing, does that ruin something? Okay, David makes more sense. Yeah, I know, it's a lot. If I'd known that it was going to happen, you might have had a warning. Save point. Let's try the save point one and see if it has the same problem. No. So something in there is causing the problem. Okay, so let's just do a quick run through of everything else. Oh, it's the camera. It's whenever. Really? This has not historically been a problem for me before. I don't know. It's a weird thing. It's like, I have never had this problem before. Okay, I'm just gonna try something. Better not be this silly. This does not make any sense to me at all. Sorry, you guys came in probably expecting to see me make actual progress today. Instead, I feel like I've been thrown back into... Yeah, it's actually... I learned what this hat was called when I was doing research for this game. It's actually called a hennin, and I think it's like a late medieval Renaissance era fashion. Like, it's the one that everybody calls the princess hat, but like, it's actually got a name apparently. Like, I looked it up and I was like, oh, okay, that's what that's called. Okay. So I think it's got to do with the camera, but that can't be. Okay, I need to... slime pits left path. I feel like something is happening here that's just wrong, and I don't know what it is. Yeah, it's like as soon as there's a question about biome is slime pits. Okay, good. Super annoying. Not really how I wanted to start my day, but oh well. Game dev. Wait. Okay, you know what we're gonna do? We're going to, first of all, okay, so I have all this stuff, but actually, wait, why am I doing it this way? What? Yeah, that is how it is. Yeah, whether that should be the case, though, I don't know. Okay, camera.
I see your heart receive cars. You've got no time.
Okay, we're gonna try and detach the script because I don't think it's actually doing anything. And we'll see if that helps.
You've got no time to be afraid.
Oh, block slide on base now.
I see your heart receive cars. Nowhere to go but through the fog.
I'm sorry for everybody who had to see that. I need to look and see what's going on here.
You've got no time. You've got no time. You've got no time.
Part's fine. Yeah, well, it might be easier to have it separate. I don't know that I can really do much. Okay, where's the player position? Is there like a competing camera somewhere? No? I don't really even understand what happened here. Like literally this was not a problem the last time I tried to test the game. And I can only think that somehow something stupid I did with tile maps has made this happen. Because that's literally the only change that I've made is just changes to tile maps since this was last working. I guess I've made some menu changes, but like, it doesn't really make sense why that would affect all this other nonsense. Okay, well, I guess we're just going to turn off the smoothing because for right now, whatever I'm doing with it is just not worth it. And then I can look at doing that later, worrying about that later. Oh, okay, that's so much better. Also, I'm not entirely sold on these new slime blocks. I think I like the old ones better, and I might even just go back to them. Let me do a quick export, actually. Oh wait, I can just do that in Godot. Okay. Like, it's not like it's the best ever, but I think it might be actually better to... yeah, I think it's better to use these better than... yeah, that's what we're doing. Tiles and UX, animated source. Okay, I apologize for everybody who got a... just a whole lot of nonsense there. That was just not okay. I'm not... okay. So these aren't perfect, but I guess I personally think that they would be better. Oh boy. I just got a note from a game dev compatriot who I don't think is in the chat right now, saying that they had to give up on 7-day Arrow this year. So press F to pay respects for that person's 7-day roguelike dreams. Yeah, Phantom camera. Yeah, there's a chance I'm going to need to port this to 4 anyway, just for my own sanity going forward. Okay, so I'm going to just do a brief demo for the 2 people watching who haven't actually seen this yet, how it looks. Slime, Pits main. And it's not really like everything is done before, but there's some things that are done. So started to come up here. There's checkpoints here. And there's a save game there. It doesn't actually save. I mean, it saves the game, but like there's no restore right now, which maybe is something that I should build in. There's little secrets you can find like this. I'm missing already the first power-up, which is the dash, that would let me go through here at irresponsibly high speeds. I have seen Tabmark Workflow in 4.2, and I really like it, and also I really hate it at the same time. I'm sure you know where my trepidation is coming from, at least. Okay, so... Okay. I'll figure that part out later. Why is it doing that? Oh, for Pete's sake. I see the problem. The z-index isn't high enough. It's not the actual image, it's just the z-index. But why is the area offset so horrible? There we go. That's better. Is she supposed to be a slime princess? That would be the question. And I will not reveal the correct answer to that question. I feel like it's that would be a plot central question if ever there was one. So yeah, this is the first part. You get past here, you get that little thing, and then you can go up here. Now, really, in some ways, it would make more sense for that button to be unguarded, so that if you were a budding speedrunner, you could easily like get past it. If you like could figure out like a way, or if I did like a new game plus, there really should be something up here to like shoot at you, or like be some kind of hazard. Also, I did not think critically enough about the camera angle on this. Also, if music is too loud or too quiet, can someone let me know? I assume it's about right, even though I can hear it pretty well in my ears. Yeah, so the biggest thing for me that's annoying is that I can't set my own auto tiling at my own discretion in terms of like what considers what to be a neighbor. Looks like that's a lot more click intensive of a workflow, whereas I can kind of program it and think about it as like a programmer. Now, I don't think I have that option with Godot 4. That's the thing I don't like. So these blocks here, you can't really see them. The save game, again, doesn't really, I mean, it saves the game, but you can't restore the game. And then I need to fix, there's a collision problem with this block here in particular. And then I grabbed it, I grabbed this, and then these guys are actually the old version of the thing. But see, now I can do this. Boop-a-doo. And actually, I should probably do some work piling these. But yeah, so okay, wait, why did that not work there? That's not good, because this is supposed to be it's supposed to be a pretty generous window for like when you can get them. You didn't see that. Okay. I'm gonna turn this volume down a tiny bit over here. The nice thing is I've just got it going in, I've just got it playing from SoundCloud. So like, it also includes pieces that I've written that aren't really on my computer anymore. Yeah, so I think I probably need to do kind of a bounce back thing. Like I think when you hit the bashy box, you really should bounce back. And could be annoying for players, but I feel like that's a good bit of feedback. Oh yeah, you also have a little bit of coyote time, just for the sanity of players. Okay, I need to fix that. And then up here, you can go up here. I'm not going to go to the right room. Actually, I'm going to go to the right room because I'm going to show you. I have a place planned. There's going to be a boss here. And this is basically a soft log at this point because there's not a boss to fight and win against. Let me see if I can pull up that boss so you can see how it looks. Actually, I should probably get back to doing actual development stuff. In theory, I should be doing an hour and a half of development work today. Probably I've passed the point of credibility where I can count just showing off as being development work. Especially since now we've fixed, quote unquote, that other issue. I don't know, I'm gonna look into David's suggestion and maybe look at like, yeah, also thank you for everybody who's had kind words, David, for the suggestions. But yeah, this is a pretty loud drum and bass track. Most of this stuff is probably not going to be in the actual game because, first of all, a lot of it wouldn't really fit. Like this wouldn't fit in this game. Like there's like it would fit in like maybe like an nth degree like DLC area, but also because I'm trying to like keep a list of like people. Like I have at least one person in mind that I'm like I would like this person to be able to do composing work on the game, and yeah, so that'll be good, I think. Yeah, I need to, and then eventually its course is going to be a little more restricted. But the goal here is to get the game done for Metroidvania Month Super in terms of like just getting a demo done, which I'm hoping to end at an annoyingly specific place, like right before the second boss or something. And then if people want to have their names in for potentially doing testing on the actual commercial version, that's going to be probably a shorter list, at least at a certain point in development. So if anybody's watching and thinks they might want to be on that list, let me know, although that's going to be a slightly different level of commitment than, played the SMVM version and gave me feedback. So maybe play that version first and then, so that you know it's something that you, if you like, because it looks fun, but I'm a little bit worried, it's easy to be worried about sloppy physics a little bit, this character flying around like no tomorrow. Okay. So part of the thing is, I want to just to illustrate, to look at the left path for a second, and if you just look at the sheer amount of like stuff that is pulsating in here, and it's a little disgusting. It's kind of disgusting on purpose. These are the slime pits. This is where slime lives. And eventually I'm going to make, I think, a version of this that doesn't have the same, like I'm going to make a version that's designed to tile with this that doesn't have the parts that you would normally expect to stand on, so that if it's not one of the top ones, it looks more naturally blended into the surrounding stone. I'm going to turn this up a little bit, but it's Necrocities, so it's going to get loud real soon. And I feel like the menus should reflect the appropriate level of sliminess of the game. Does that make sense? Like, it just feels fitting for the menu to be a little bit slimy. I don't know if that makes sense to everybody else, but it makes sense to me. So like, I feel like there should be a certain squishiness and a certain like, I don't want to say disgustingness because I don't feel like I really want to get, yeah, cartoony, bubbly, squishy, but like, okay, so I'm not necessarily going for like old Newgrounds level of disgusting. I'm going for, hey Max, I'm going for more of a like, what is the right word? I would kind of rather go for like the aesthetics of like a Mario or like a Mario game on the GBA era systems. So, you know, it kind of looks color-wise something like between that and like what you would expect the DOS shareware game to look like at this point, which is fine. I've got no issue with that really. But more significantly, I think just the outlininess of this character and the whole world is sort of intentionally cartoony. Yeah, SNES basically, but like there's a particular style that Nintendo has. It's kind of kid-friendly. And it can be a little bit like gross in places if it needs to be. So like Yoshi's Island would be a good example, although this is going to be nowhere near that beautiful because that's just one of the most beautiful games of all time. And I cannot compare. But yeah, you know what? Let me see if I can get a menu to actually load a save file because it's been a while since I did that. And yeah, on David's advice, actually, I did a lot of work, or I did some work getting things separated. So a lot of things have their own unique things. I've even got like a little common asset file for like things that are going to be used a lot that aren't used, that are going to be used a lot in the editor and in the game that like aren't. Oh yeah, I could take a. Oh yeah, Burgerman, the I believe they called it a pick and flick adventure. I've never actually played it, but I've heard of it. Yeah. But like, there's a certain level of disgusting. Like, I don't want to go for like a there's the Edna McMillan variety of disgusting too. Like, I don't really dig that as much. Like, not even like, and you might be thinking, oh, like Binding of Isaac with all like the poop jokes and stuff. But no, I'm actually talking about Super Meat Boy too. Like, even Super Meat Boy was a little bit too like Newgrounds in a bad way. Yeah, Gallus, you got to get on this. You're in the main jam. You gotta step it up. You want? Sorry, could say this having like just talked for like 20 minutes and not done anything. Oh man. No, I'm excited for whatever Gallus makes because, and whatever David makes because they actually like, I've seen their work before, and we talked about this. David basically made Dark Souls 1-1 for the jam. Oh, okay. Well, if Signal's here to steal more testers, there's a thing on Signal. I didn't put any Puzzle Depot destined tracks in here because I only have old versions on the SoundCloud, like the versions that you like the least. So I can either put those in the playlist or I can leave them out of the playlist as you prefer. But they will not be the current versions that you've heard most recently. Sorry, I may have said Dark Souls. It was Demons 1-1, and I'll let David link it in chat because I don't actually know what it is off the top of my head. But it was pretty cool. But if you want to see a game that is fun. There's a game in the world called Puzzle Depot. It's based very loosely on an old Mega Zeus puzzle game made by a friend of mine in Signals, and the friend is an evil genius. Let's see. Ban distressed spendy. Okay, we'll do that. Good. Okay. Okay, well, give me a moment. Did I just go to the stream playlist instead of adding it to the stream playlist? I am a total... And... And then we're going to edit, and we're going to edit tracks, and we're just going to move a couple of these up here. So if you want to hear some stuff from the game that Signal is trying to steal testers for, at least I assume that's the one you're trying to steal testers for, you'll hear 3 of those up next. Yeah, so Nathan, I do understand why it would be associated with death in your mind. So this is from Necrocities, which is the entry that 909 Crime and I made for Metroidvania month 21, and I may at some point want to convince him to go back and do a version of this game that is not stupidly difficult, because I really like the music that I wrote for it. And I feel like with the game being difficult as it is, not many people are actually going to get to hear the whole soundtrack. Oh, did I do something wrong here? Oh, for Pete's sake. Okay. Oh, for Pete's sake. Okay, well. So this is the silly thing. Like, you put it up there, right? And you're like, oh, this is fine. I'm going to just put this... I don't understand the logic. You have to save changes every time. Okay. So because I've done all this stuff, I've been a little bit bad. I need to probably stop this, and we're going to reset this to an hour and 5. There we go. Sorry, I'm trying to be very intentional about the creative stuff. And Face was Hotline Miami meets Demon Souls, neither was Archive. Signal, I'm sorry to hear about your internet. Please press F to pay respects to Signal's internet. Oh, you're good now, okay. You should unpress that if you pressed it. Thank you. I enjoy it. It's not my main gig. And to be clear, this is not the stuff that's in the game Signals programming yet. That stuff is coming up. Okay. So now the menu. Okay. Actually, you know what? I'm not going to work on the menu. Let's tile something. I think that's what I want to do today. What am I doing? What do I want to? I don't want to work on a menu in front of people. I want to do something that's compatible with like looking at nonsense in the chat and also things. Okay. Okay. What we're gonna do is we're gonna reload this now, and we're gonna see if we can get it to behave because I'm pretty sure I changed this. Okay. Well, we're gonna hear a piece again. Which is fine because it's one of my favorite pieces in Necro Cities. But we're going to hear a little bit from the Puzzle Depot soundtrack first. These are old versions of the tracks. I think they actually sound better now, or we think they sound better now. But these will give you a version of them. Okay, so I'm going to do a little bit of workflow nonsense. Google triangle. So I did a thing based on an inverted triangle exercise that I saw in a GDC talk. In the GDC talk, the guy talks about the inverted triangle, which is like a model for game development. It's sort of like those like Russian dolls, you know, that like have the different they have like the smaller versions of themselves inside of themselves, kind of. And so you basically imagine what's the smallest version, and then you have the next version up, and then the next version up from that. And the reason you do this is because if you have content that can easily be added on to what you're doing, you can then you can sort of readily change the scope of the game based on when you run out of money. And that thing, yes, that word that you just said that I can't pronounce. If anybody wants to see that GDC talk, there it is for your reference. It's called Deciding What to Make a Greenlight Process for Commercial Indies. And what I did was I just basically made a Metroidvania map that works on the same principle. That's more or less what I did. So we're just going to take through a little bit of the stuff. And I'm basically probably only going to do what's actually in the demo. So if you look here, we have the actual main tiles. I think I need to make these don't read super accessibly. I think I need to make them brighter. But in case you were wondering, they are in fact the actually, I'm gonna do that. I think that's better. But this is the keep entry area, and it's going to go into, we have a lower, not really an elevator, but like a stairwell kind of area. I'm going to need to make, the problem with this is that I'm eventually going to need to make some stairs, and it turns out that I'm not very good at drawing like Castlevania-y stairs, and this game is sort of like a weird like Castlevania Kirby blend as far as its style goes. So I'm not sure exactly how to manage that, but I do know that I can take the keep, and we're going to duplicate this guy, and we're going to duplicate it over to keep lower stairwell. Yeah, that's what we're going to do. Yeah, that makes sense. Okay. And then the nice thing is we know that this guy goes here. And this is just me like kind of being a little bit nonsense. But if you look here, you can see the way that the level thing is. Oh yeah, David, I think I get that. It's very difficult to really get at the it's difficult to really do justice, I think, to all the talks. But yeah, if you want to see some other things, I will. I'll paste. I'll probably be decorating this area with some of the other with the other banners that I made. So I've got some nice banners for some. I mean, this game is a fairy tale. Like, it's not anything that's supposed to be like a super serious, like a super serious, like dark fantasy. This is a fairy tale about slime and comma getting turned into one. So like, we are not talking about like something that is super duper serious here. We are talking about like probably, I mean, I'm hoping that it'll have like something nice to say, but like it's not gonna be like a super serious game in the sense that like I'm hoping it won't take itself too seriously, if that makes sense. Yeah, more or less slime heraldry. That's what we're dealing with. The sort of nonsense I'm going to put you through. It's not exactly going to be that, actually. But I'll just kind of let people. Nope, that's not the right one. Excuse me. That. And there's that. Yeah, good. Oh yeah. Yeah, there's a lot of things about it that I think I'm gonna love. It's just I'm not need to figure out. Like, maybe I do like a Zelda type thing where like enemies will come in here and you'll have to actually like you'll have to actually like defeat them to advance. I think that would be probably a worthy way of doing things. Like at a certain point I'm gonna have to do that. So wait, I mean, Gals, you've used 4 though, so like you know about the tileset workflow, right? Or is that am I misremembering what you've actually done with Godot? Because I know there's a few people on NPM who've used it, but I don't remember if you're one of them. I'm sorry. Boy. Right, it's difficult for me. Like, this is not probably the best version of this track that you're hearing right now, but it is a little difficult for me nonetheless to not groove on it because I love it. Yeah, no, I was asking if you had used if you knew about anything about the tile set stuff with Godot 4, because I don't actually know anything about it really. Like, I've tried like for like 5 seconds to use it, and then I've concluded that I didn't have the patience to learn it right at that moment. Essentially. Okay, so decor, we have little banners we can use for the different people. But like, I'm not gonna want to use too many banners because at a certain point, I think I need to I'm gonna need to put, like, you know, like in Castlevania they have like the platforms, and they have the platforms you can actually jump onto, but then they have staircases behind it. So the staircases are kind of like environmental pictures, but then like the actual platforming is done on the platforms. In newer Castlevania, older Castlevania, they just did the staircases. I'm not up to program that, so it's gonna be the new Castlevania way instead of the old. I guess new Castlevania does it both ways. The point is, I'm not doing slopes. Okay. Okay, that's good to know. because if you look at the amount of tiles that I have to do, just here's ballparking. There's a lot of stuff in my tile set right now, and I'm a little bit worried about it. Basically, the sheer amount of it. Yeah. So let's see. I need to figure out main tiles, decor. Oh, actually, what I should probably do with this checkpoint down here is, oh, not what I wanted to do. Did I just... Oh, goodness, I've done this again. Where you, like, duplicate a file and then you keep working on the original file without thinking about it. Okay, so we're going to rename this to keep entry 2. And then we're going to rename this to keep entry. Rename. Keep lower stairwell. And if anybody else is currently thinking about the transporter problem, or that time in DS9 that O'Brien, and I'll leave it there for avoiding spoilers, I'm right there with you. Also that time in Voyager with Harry Kim. I've been watching a lot of Star Trek this year, the last couple of years, so just bear with me on that. Hey, Cynic. Yes. Okay. So then there's that. And I put this room in the map here, but I don't actually know what its purpose is. Should probably figure that out. Like at some point. Oh, actually. I think that might be its purpose. Okay. Signal, I regret to inform you that a large portion of this game's actual power-ups are going to be kind of cliche for Metroidvanias. I'm going to try and get at least one that it's action physics related to being a slime, though, and isn't something you could do if you weren't made of slime. Like fitting through a grate or something. I think it's going to be one of them. But I need to figure out how that works. I was rather proud to figure out, and this is a late stage thing that only happens, it only becomes relevant if the game gets to the outer walls of the rectangle. I'm just going to briefly pull up something in Sprite and show what I mean by this. I'm not going to show the actual map that I'm working on, but in case anybody wants to know what inverted triangle means in terms of the actual content that I'm going on for the game, that is what it looks like. So the part that's going to be in the SMVM demo, if I do this correctly, is going to be a lot of this, but not all of it, because there will only be one boss and a lot of the rooms. Probably, I'm guessing 20 to 22 of them or something will be in there. That's still a fair amount. And the power-up that I'm most proud of is the notion that slimes can... ooh, yeah, that's a good point. The split would be interesting. Slimes are very easy to draw. That's true. And that's part of... I mean, that's part of the appeal here, is it's easy to draw and, like... like, this character, like, animates pretty easily. So, like, I don't need to really worry too much about all that. I think it's going to be a bit more of a challenge when I get to the people, but I do have enough experience animating human or humanoid things that, like, they'll at least be passable. They might not look quite as fluid because this slime is like using a 6-frame walk cycle for just to blob around. Toxic Tomb, for instance. But Toxic Tomb is about fighting slimes, right? Isn't it about like fighting them and not about... This is about being a slime. It's a very different kind of slime game. Also, I'd like to point out, I made Rest Stop 23, and I was like the chief slime animator on that project. Yes, you can find my music anywhere. It is... there. And whenever Puzzle Deep comes out, assuming everything goes according to plan for all of us, the soundtrack containing bits and pieces from both myself as well as 2 other talented composers will also, I think, eventually be available. I think that's the plan. Signal, if you haven't sent me Toxic Tomb yet in like a chat, you can feel free to send it to me, or you can paste it here. I don't really care. Okay, external testing 2 weeks from now. Okay, that means people besides me and like several other people who already know enough about the project being tortured by the puzzles, which are expertly, and by that I mean Otto is an evil genius, designed. Like, you might be thinking, how many puzzle games can you possibly play if you think Otto's an evil genius? The man has invented a Sokoban with Zelda-linked dungeons, like NES Zelda-linked dungeons that function as giant puzzles wherein you can fail each individual room as well as the dungeon as a whole. Not as easily as you could in the freeware version, but it's still enough to be like you got to be careful with your resources in this game. It is a lot. Like, from what I've played, I think I won't say which level it is that I played, but there was one puzzle in one of them involving a couple of enemies and some blocks that you had to push and get everything destroyed all correctly and everything. It was whatever. Signal, if you wanna link the is there a Steam page? Is there a Steam page, right? Or is the Steam page still up, or is it down and then coming back up later? Or what's the, I don't remember what exactly. But if you want to link the something that people can follow to something, I mean, that's pretty much a standing invitation in my chat, for obvious reasons of I have a vested interest in that game succeeding. Both in that I know people who are working on it and I want them to succeed, and also I will get money if it succeeds. Okay, so let's do another one. Keep lower stairwell, new, duplicate, keep. Yeah, you really should get that Discord link set up. I mean, I can still promote you on Twitter, which, by the way, I think I said this earlier, although I don't remember if this was when I hit the record or when I hit the actual stream button. I basically don't call it X. I can't live with, I can't accept that that's the name of it anymore. Okay. Well, yeah, that is fair. Okay, so keep. Let's see. Yeah, I know. Okay. 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 If this room actually stays as keep 5x2, just based on its dimensions, I'm going to be a little bit mad at myself, but I don't know what else to call it, so that's what it's going to get called for right now. Let's Let's see. Let's see here. Yeah, I think that's what I gotta call it. Spawner. Let's see. Actually, I think part of this just needs to be the stairwell again. I think the main difficulty that I have with the idea of this being the stairs is that, like, conceivably, like, the human, including the humans, would be, would not be like, would not be like getting around. Thank you. Yeah, no, this is a great. I'm very happy with this one. Oh yeah, so what I was gonna do earlier before I got rudely interrupted by my own clicking incorrectly was I was gonna do a thing where I was gonna make the checkpoint in not keep entry but lower stairwell. I was gonna make the checkpoint really big, and this means that anybody who's familiar, this is an area 2D that's happening, and as anybody who's used Godot knows, this means that if you wander anywhere into here, actually I probably just can make it a little bit lower, a little bit less obnoxious. But basically anybody wanders into here, and then that will set their spawn point right here in the middle, like where the silhouette slime is. So the reason that will be important is probably going to involve, that's probably going to be important because of, I think this is going to be a battle room. So I know this is going to sound silly, but for those of you who played Rusted Moss, my apologies, but I think I have to make that part of what I'm doing here because I'm not that good at puzzles, and I won't be able to make puzzles that are good enough to sustain without a battle room of some kind. Let's see here. Decor. Now, what did I do over here? Okay, so I did that. Actually, I kind of like this little area here being something slightly different. I'm not sure how that'll actually work in terms of world building, but I'm just gonna roll with it for right now. I really probably shouldn't be approaching the level design for this ostensibly commercial project the way that I would approach building a Minecraft base, but I mean, the nice thing about what I'm doing kind of is that I do have a stable job, and, you know, like, in a weird way, not that I really should like cavalierly accept this, but like, I can sort of afford to fail if I need to. It'd be nice to not fail, but I also can afford to. Let's see. But I'm not really sure what I'm gonna do with this. That's the problem, is like I'm not sure what could possibly be in this particular corner of the, oh, hey, there we go. Actually, yeah, I think I need to do, I think I need a new tile type. Ugh. See, this is the real problem, is like I'm gonna transition to go to Godot 4, and then all of a sudden I've got like 30,000 tiles to transfer over because I didn't just do it sooner. At least one person I've talked to has pointed out, like, why do I even need to transfer to 4? And there's a good possibility that I don't, and that I will take the opportunity not to, accordingly, because I don't know that I really want to. But I think this over here being a good transition point for like a guard's quarters or something. I think that's a good idea, because I think it will give a better I think that'll give a better idea. And like one thing I do have as an option is doing, like, I have the option to do what are they called? So if you played the Watchful Deep, you probably encountered the rooms that you can like go up into instead of just over to the side. And I think that is something that we'll probably need to take advantage of a little bit here. Decor. Do I have the ability to... Okay, so I don't have the ability to do that. That was just a different... Let's see, what was which one is this now that's playing? Okay, this is the Pixel Note mix, okay. So this is a bunch of stuff from like a bunch of games, some of which never got released, including like a Metroidvania that I had been working on with some like Knight or some Knit and Dark Souls influence in Megazeus several years ago. But this was for OST Composing Jam number 6, which... MVM Super is theoretically the only jam that I'm doing, but if OST Remix Jam comes up, I hope that's a good sheet. Yeah, Nathan, I really want Ben to hear this. Yeah. Like, I don't actually want him to hear it primarily necessarily for this track, but there's one coming up. Or no, there's not one coming up, because it's not that playlist. This is just the start, this is just one of the tracks in this playlist. Oh dear. Okay. Oh, okay. I did a silly there just now. And every power you get in this game makes your slime bigger, and while you get new powers, you get too big to fit through certain areas. Signal! Oh yeah. I do have the power to make Ben review anything I want, but I'm not going to make him review Spyglass, because there's at least one track in there that is not the best, and I don't want him to have to review that and tell me that it's bad, because I already know. Like, the rest of them are great, and even that one isn't terrible, but it's definitely not the best. I am excited though when I when the next round of Puzzle Depot stuff is like more clear that we're like, this is a good version of the track for the game. I will be very excited to share that with all of you though, and there will be at least 2 of you who could, if you really wanted to, review that, because not only will there be a lot of game to chew on, but there will be a lot of soundtrack to chew on. Just tossing it out there for you. Yeah, it didn't actually occur to me until like looking at this conversation that David and Signal both have like oodles of just obscure game knowledge that I have never heard of before. Like Signal mentioned some like obscure like Metroidvania infiltration platformer from like insert obscure PC 98 console or whatever, and I'll just be like, I've never heard of that ever. And then I have to like watch a YouTube video to understand what he's talking about. Yeah, so this is the part that sort of segues. I used the little necrocities in this in the down tempo section. Keep. Oh no, keep. I want to keep upper stairwell as well. Keep. The nice thing about keep upper stairwell is it's very easy to okay, keep upper stairwell. Nope. Okay. And decor. For those of you who might be wondering, do these symbols stand for anything? The answer is yes. Yes, they do. Oh, right, new tiles here. Mostly lore. Puzzle would be kind of cool, but I will have to think I will have to use my brain for that. I'll have to unbrain in something that is much. Okay, it's going to bother me a little bit that I don't have any pillars here, so I'm going to put some pillars here. I'm sure there's somebody who's like, actually, somebody's gonna play this game and be like randomly just like a medieval architecture expert, and they're gonna be like, actually, the Slime Princess game is inaccurate on several levels. They really shouldn't have done this here. No medieval engineer worth their salt would have ever put a pillar here. They would have put it over here. And to be clear, I will not authorize anybody to have any untoward behavior towards this person when they do that. I will not authorize anything at all. I want to say that with a wink, but like really, like you all know me, I don't really authorize trolling people. Like I really don't. So, you know. Oh yeah, I forgot about these. I have these little like doohickeys I can put in places. Just kind of like move around the kind of make the little things different in places. That's really vague. This is a track that I feel like if Slime Princess had a much more like beach-like or even like ocean biome in it, like proper, that I could probably get away with putting it in here, but alas, it will not probably have a biome like that. Okay, keep upper stairwell. Oh, that's going to be a big room. I better figure out what I'm going to do with that. because... So the challenge here is that the next room I'm about to do, it does. Although I did once read a novel that was like, it was a science fiction novel. Okay, see, again, Signal is giving me words that I have to look up. Oh, okay, interesting. Apparently it also means a gray four-eyed opossum, which is known for its high-pitched battle cry. I don't think I knew that there were four-eyed opossums in the world, and now I know that, thanks to you, Signal. So this piece is from a game that was never released, called Odilia. That was the knit Dark Souls thing. Let's see. The monkey sound friction drum that briefly ruined all. You're gonna have to send me an example at some point of what we're talking about, because you and I may be at odds as far as the exact merits of this drum. I may secretly like it and not know until I actually hear it that I like it. I'm sorry if you find out that way, but that's very likely to happen at this point. I'm going to turn this up just a little bit briefly. This is from Spaceman Jones, which, for anybody who cares to know, you can in fact play on Digital MZX, where you can find it. Let's see. Where am I looking? Oh, right. Stairwell. How big is... Okay. It's a 4x4. Okay, that's actually not that huge. Not that big. It's enough. By the way, in case anybody's seeing the numbers in Godot and wondering why I have a 3x5, why I have a 4x4, but it says a 2x2 over here, it's because the room size in the spreadsheet that I have refers to half screens, and the room size that I have in Godot measures in full screens, wide and tall. So that's not confusing at all, I'm sure, for anybody. Could never possibly be a problem or lead to any misunderstanding whatsoever. And you are hearing a bit of a blend of pieces here. You're not hearing just purely one or the other. It's gonna blend into one of the Spyglass tracks again. Okay, so I need to do that, and then did I do this again? Pete's sake. Rename. Hi, Interceptor. Do I have a map system? No. I don't have that yet, but I will. So a lot of my samples are from Music Radar, which gives away free samples, almost like candy. Radar, free samples. And actually, I've been using them for a very long time, like so long that like there's samples that I got from them that I used to make the breakbeats in the Puzzle Depot stuff, a lot of which is like 10 years old now, in terms of like how long the project's been going. But yeah, if you check that out, that's a baller like little website there. And then oftentimes I'm making music in Buzz Tracker. I don't think I could ever do that really. Like I might be able to show you a little bit of what's happened in Buzz Tracker on a stream, but I definitely couldn't like make music in Buzz Tracker on a stream because it's too complicated, basically. Okay, well, I have homework now, so that's good. Okay, now where does it need to go? The other thing is, the reason I have this grid is because it keeps me sane. Those of you who know me from Metroidvania Month will know that I have a penchant for wanting to be very Euclidean in my map design. I do not like being non-Euclidean in my map design. And in fact, it is a great failure of my Metroidvania Month term that in a project of the Zephyr, I most infamously did not properly, do you mean Gawker? Is that the one you're talking about? Or is it a different one now? I thought Gawker, well, some of them I thought maybe weren't, but like, is it the same one you're talking about with like Kotaku and Polygon and stuff? Is that the one? I wouldn't really know exactly. I don't pay a lot of attention. If news is fun, if news is important, I try to read it, and then if news is not important, I generally don't. But like, oh wait, what am I? I'm just gonna let this one play. So this guy right here is probably the most like Mega Zeuser thing that exists in this game, at least as far as like little touches that don't, as far as I know, have any impact yet. It's just like I'm just gonna put a little eyeball in here because I can. Why not? To be clear, it's not specifically like a Mega thing to do, but it feels very appropriate to my game dev history that I would do that. I think eventually I'm going to need to let players drop down through platforms, because I think I'd initially planned to use that for like a gate back to a place, but I don't think that really works that well. I think I have to do it differently. It's like the order a pizza and the waiter comes up and squirts mayo all over, not even ranch? Could I at least get some ranch? Okay, once this track is over, I'm going to let it, I'm gonna reload that playlist so that it'll play something else. That's really big. Oh wait, I can do this, and then I can do this, because I don't need to worry about the handling of this one. Okay, let's reload this guy. And I don't know why the banners are the ones that keep getting the default there. But actually, no, this is perfect. I can do something here. Go. I think eventually those should be somewhere else for world building, but go ahead and not worry too much about that at this moment. For demo purposes, that's close enough to where they should be. See, like, I want to show you just a quick example of the stairs that I did make, so you can see how bad they are. Look at that. That's like barely recognizable as a staircase. That's awful. The problem is I have to find one that's like, I probably really just need to use a staircase that's about the same color as these pillar boys. I think that's going to be the better way to go. But, you know, we'll see. Oh, good. Yeah, no, Rogue Legacy is, it's not surprising. So I used to I used to play Rogue Legacy a lot. Like a lot. Like it is difficult to overestimate how much I played Rogue Legacy. Oh, actually, what I need to do here though is, in accordance with the next power-up, I actually need to get rid of these tiles up here. Because I need to see something, actually. I need to see how this looks. Nah, maybe not there. Nope, not there. Just to check the keep entry. Really? Okay, well, I'll fix that later. Just want to see how this looks. I'll put them together. Like, nah, it's not too terrible, but it looks more like a pipe than it does like a pillar at that point. Yeah, no, Rogue Legacy is a cheap, like, huge influence for me, so that's good, actually, that you say that. At least, provided it, you know, can be made to work. But the main thing is here, I think the next step is just going to build on the dash. It's going to be like an upgrade, like lets you essentially stick into walls. And if you've ever seen like the thing in Mario Odyssey where he gets the bird, and then the bird like lets you you have the bird, and then it sticks into like the styrofoamy walls, and then the bird goes, and then you yeah, it's like that. It's the idea, that thing. Yeah, this is acceptable. I really should have made like an offset setting for these checkpoints, but I didn't. Oh, but I need to make sure that this checkpoint is only for if you're up there. It's very important. Hearing right now is the soundtrack to the worst game ever made. Not really, but Dunk Tank is almost more of an experiment that I did on people than it was a game. Okay, so this next one is only 2. Okay, now let's see if we can do a whole challenge of that is a good question, and I will think about that. I think that would probably save me some headache and some level editing time if I did that. Also, it would save some area 2Ds that would then have to not have to watch for the player. So there is something to that. The question is, am I smart enough to actually act on that advice or not? Time will tell. Or it's a really good idea, and I'm a little bit ashamed of myself for not thinking about it earlier. Now what I'm thinking I might do as like a little fake out here is room is only supposed to be a 1x1, but I feel like it would make sense if you could get up a little further, because I think I want the power up that comes before this room to be kind of an essential for actually beating the boss. Like I don't think it really makes sense to like not require it to be used. So I think the question then is, the banner is so big compared to everything else. I was very proud of those after I doodled them, but like, so big. Actually do if I... Okay, actually that's pretty solid. I like that. Although I am gonna do a little bit more randoming over here. There we go. That's better. So like the key tiles kind of randomly jut out a little bit, if you haven't noticed. Like these ones here, and that was very intentional. I just kind of made them that way for a certain type of tile. Just do that depending on if it's bit masked correctly to do it. I'm mildly worried that they stick out enough to look like they would become kind of trapped, but I'm hoping that it becomes pretty clear pretty early on that they are. Except maybe for like the secret hunters of secret hunters going to be only whatever. I need to really get the next ability programmed so I can like start messing around with it and feel how it feels. Because if I want the player to have to climb walls by dashing into them, that's going to be kind of huge. And then of course the question is like, is that really a good ability? Or is that just me not thinking creatively about the dash and the fact that the dash is already going to break certain blocks? And then of course there's other questions, conveyance issues, like shouldn't a player be able to press M to rect select multiple? Oh yeah. Oh, I know what you're talking about. Yeah, that. That's true. I probably could have done that. I've occasionally had nonsense where, for some reason, Godot thinks that I want to delete the entire tile set from the scene, which is not what I've ever really wanted. Oh, well, I mean, I have wanted to do it occasionally, but okay. 1, 2. There we go. See, this one I know I could easily do like this, for example, with the shift thingy. I just haven't made the effort. I think the worry that I have with this one, if you've played my other Metroidvania Month games, you know that the only one that I made with any sizable combat, I guess Watchful Deep had some combat, but like, even that was mainly a dodging game. Oh yeah, no, I have a tool script going. Game area is doing that, and the asset one that it pulls from is a tool script as well, so it just like loads when the editor loads, and yeah, it just loads when the editor loads. Deep lower stairwell. I feel honored that I would actually even have an idea that's good enough for you to steal, to be honest. I feel like I've stolen most of my best ones from you, including the asset scripts, by the way. Oh, sorry. At least that's where. So it's under scripts, and common assets is the one that's storing like assets that are going to be used a lot. So like collectibles and backgrounds are going to get used in almost every scene, or in most of the scenes. And so I have them just loading at the start with this common asset script, which is one of the singletons. And so, like, when the game area script needs to set get on the background, it says common assets dot background, etc. Yeah, tools are really stupidly powerful, and I haven't really learned. I don't know if I really feel like I've learned how to use set get, because I feel like it still breaks really hard whenever anything isn't perfect, basically. But at the same time, I think it's probably okay for right now. That probably didn't make a lot of sense. But. So the only real challenge, I think, to trying to... Yeah, we did. And that's where I got that's why I have so many different files now, is because of your influence, actually. If you heard a beep, that was the Google alarm telling me that, I mean, I'm probably going to need to do the half-hour work on this when I get back, just kind of make sure I get that half hour in. But I'll let this one go, and I'll let the next song go, and then I think I'm going to need to log off because I have to get ready for something. There's an event today that I have to get ready for, and I'm leaving port in about an hour, so I want to leave that time. Let's see. And how does that look? Actually, it looks pretty good. I think the thing that I don't like is having to like get all the way up here. Like, I don't want to really make the players jump super high, but I also would like to not have the player have to, like, it's super easy to not jump the full height of that. And that, I feel like, can get really annoying really fast. Also, there's a little flickering line there, which I thought I'd mostly gotten rid of, but apparently not. Again, this might need to be a Godot 4 project, possibly for reasons other than just like long-term stability. I could put a little collectible here. Do that. Do that. Of course, I put the collectible there, but I didn't actually give myself a way to get the weapon. That I need to... Oh, wait. Nope. I don't think I can quite make that. Probably not, but let's try it anyway. Nope. I don't think I'm going to make that. But I think you will be able to make that with the dash pretty trivially. So just for fun, let's do the slime pits again, but let's go to the global script and mess with one thing and just simulate what an NG plus might look like. So, oh, you know what I need to do though? I need to get the UX back on because I turned it off. Or testing the menu. So let's turn the status back on. Nope, I don't want this text box. I want this. So you'd see I've got the thing here. The save button that only saves the file, doesn't load the file. So the reason this is awesome is because, you know, if you do and if you do it right, if you time it just right, you can actually like, you can save your, yeah, there we go. You can get the dash back for later. So sort of like if you played Celeste, it's a similar phenomenon, but arguably easier. You can also get into there, but I shouldn't because that will go to nowhere. Bye, Interceptor. Have a good one. Nope. Okay, let's see if I can do this in... Nope. Okay, I'm gonna stop trying to be fancy now. Or not. Oh. Yeah, so that's the danger. Is you can do stuff like that pretty easily to yourself. Hello. Good. Although, did you just see the stream? Thank you. Okay, can't do that. Oh, that's interesting. I have no idea how I got on anybody's recommended. But I'll take it. Oh, okay. Well, if someone's in the MVM Discord, if you're just hoping to learn, like there's people that we know that can probably be of some assistance. I can't promise that I'm the best of them by any means, but they do exist. I got you. That makes sense. Yes. Yep. Yeah. So I'm probably not the best person to ask because I cut my teeth on a lot of like a lot of like ZZT and Megazeus when I was younger, like starting when I was like 8. Yes. It is a little bit of a platformer. It's got some sort of like Metroid, Castlevania, Kirby influence. As far as overall like things, and a lot of my platforming has been like Celeste. I played a lot of N++ back in the day. I guess back in the day, not really, but I played a lot of N back in the day, and then now N++. Yeah, this is just a little slime game I'm working on. That's the code name. I would have called it Slime Princess, and that is what it's called on the little thing there. But a cartoon that I've never seen has a character who apparently is very prominent with that name, so it's probably a good idea for me to pick a different name for the game, just in case that creates a problem. I'm not having anything against the good adventure. I've just literally never seen it. Okay, well, I mean, that's good. Although for game dev, you may want to get beyond that at some point. That sounded so whatever. I'm not a guy who can really give advice about anything. But Godot's a nice place to go. I wouldn't necessarily say that it's like the absolute best necessarily, but like, you know, there's a lot of good options. Godot, I like Game Maker Studio still, but you know, not everybody will necessarily like all those, and you know, of course, only one of them is free. And David probably knows more about a lot of this stuff than me, to be honest. I've never really used visual code for the most part. I tended to default to the scripting when it's available for a given system, including Godot, including Game Maker Studio, including like even like, you know, well, like ZT and Megazeus. Which, I mean, really, if you're going to do something if you're going to do a lot of things in DT and Megazeus, you do need to use the scripting. I'm going to drop a link, and I am not going to reveal the goal of this game right now, because I would like to be able to tell the story a little bit more on its own terms, and kind of like leak bits of lore as I see fit. I will give you a little bit that I gave other people earlier. Here's a banner. Here's another banner. And here's a third banner. And if you're wondering if these banners mean something, the answer is yes, they do. And it is a story thing. That sounds so pretentious of me. But like, even in a game, I feel like it's good to have the game tell its own story on its own terms. And I'm hoping that I will do it well enough that I won't have to explain things beforehand. I mean, eventually there will be, you know, trailers and marketing and nonsense like that. So I will have to explain some of it, but I'm not holding off. I want to be very clear. I'm not trying to be like that guy. I'm just not saying because I don't trying to think of the right way to say this. I don't know. I'd like to give away a little bit more of the goal in the context of the game itself. How easy is level design in Godot? Pretty easy. All is equal. You should plan to learn to extend it and add your own things to it and add your own tools to it. If you want it to be like super good, that's something that you're going to want to learn to do. So definitely plan to learn the scripting and all that jazz. Okay, I'm gonna. I think that's actually. See. Yeah, like to actually like tile map a level out is pretty easy, but yeah, the basics are pretty straightforward. Scene transitions took me a while to get down. There's some things that you have to work on. Um, at least for me, there were things that I had to work on. But yeah, level design is not specific to the games, and static level design is actually not my strongest suit, which is going to make this project a very interesting prospect. Um, my my arguable best work as a solo dev, at least as far as guy responsible for a bulk of game, is probably probably Ruined Diver 3, which is a procedural generated game. It does have some definite Spelunky influence, although it's a little bit more, maybe a little twitchier, and also by default it goes a lot faster. Like runs tend to be about 2 minutes when they're successful, if you're moving at a pace at least. And that's not really level design. That's procedural level design, which is very different in my brain from static level design. It's a different enterprise. The problem exists, but it's at a different. I don't know that I can expect anybody to explain this for me, but the problem still exists with procedural design. It's just different than static. But for what it's worth, I think Godot does make it pretty easy to do the static stuff. Okay. I'm gonna drop a quick thing here. Enchanted, if you have a desire to work with anything of a Super Metroid or Castlevania-y, like newer Castlevania-y variety, that's a Discord that you could join. There will be a few fans of the genre there, as well as people making games. There's a jam going on right now. It might be a little bit late to be joining up, unless you wanted to make something really, really small. But if you wanted to talk to people, there's a lot of Godot people there. I'm there, David's there, and a few of the people that were in chat today are also there, I think. Yeah. And so like we do have pause this. But yeah, that's where I would probably go is MVM. Um it's a pretty sizable Discord. So but if you want to learn, and you have like questions, a lot of people will be there, at least on par as basic answers. Like we all have like our own projects, so um, we won't have like infinite time to answer questions by any means, but um, there are a lot of people who are at least able to engage on like a quick question there if you have them about like Godot, or to offer a quick opinion. If you have a question like the one you just had about like level design in Godot. Um, although worth noting maybe that David and I have both used it for a long time now. Like I've used it for 3 or 4 different jams of Metroidvania month variety, and David's used it for I think at least used multiple versions of it. I think for like at least the same number of jams as me, if not before, if not more. So like we've been using it for a while. But yeah. Yeah, yeah, you've been using it for a while. Yeah. Okay, I need to sign off because I need to get. Um, this is unfortunately okay. Well, that's fine. Go ahead and switch streams. I'm actually about to sign off because I need to get to an event. Um, if you want to chat more with people from the Metroidvania side of my viewership, that's where you find them. Yep. Thanks, David. Thanks, David. Thanks for dropping by at the end. Okay. Enjoy. I don't stream often, but when I do, you'll see it. Bye.